Hello guys and welcome to my channel Games and Watches. I'm gonna present to you today a new watch. It's not a new watch, it's a very old watch actually. But today we're gonna talk about Russian watches, and I have a choice for today. One of the watches I have in my collection, and that's gonna be Raketa. uh, Very resounding name. And I'm going to tell you a few things about Raketa watches. It's not too much information out there that you can guide yourself by. So let me tell you what I know and what I could find on the internet myself about Raketa watches, and how do I feel about my Raketa watch, and how does it look like. Now, before I start anything, massive thank you to every single one of you out there watching, liking, subscribing, participating actively in the videos that I post. So thank you, and thank you once again. Raketa watches. Let's talk about these ones. Not many people would know, but I would say the factory that is producing the Raketa watches, it's one of the oldest in the world. So the company called Petrodvorets, I think, something like that, was founded in 1721. Right, so that's precisely 300 years now, correct? No, I'm wrong. Is it? No, I'm correct. 300 years now. So if you'd compare this with, I don't know, the likes of Oderman Spiguet or some other luxury watch brands, very old out there. Now this one is much older than any of those. But the trick is that Raketa watches were not produced since the 1700s. This factory was apparently doing luxury jewelries and stuff like that for the imperial family, for the royal families out there in Russia. So they weren't really producing watches, or at least there is no reference that they have produced any watches 300 years ago. It's just the company that later started manufacturing Raketa and Pobeda and some other Russian watches only happened after 19, I think after World Wars, so after 1945. Nonetheless, Raketa watches, they took their name and they started after the first man flight in space, because that one was a Russian guy. His name was Yuri Gagarin, and he's the first man in space. Russians sent a rocket in space with a man on board. I think he circled the planet once and then he came back. So hence this this factory, that's a very old, 300 years old factory, they decided to produce a watch, and in honor of this Yuri Gagarin and his achievements in the whole world, being the first man in space and so on, being Russian, they being very proud during this Cold War times, and they decided to create this line of watches called Raketa to commemorate and honor this. And I'm very happy they did because some of them are very charming watches, and obviously they bring you a bit of the different flair. It's not a Western watch, it's not a Timex, it's not a Japanese, it's not a Swiss, but it's a Russian watch with tradition and everything out there. So yes, it brings a new air in when you wear a Raketa, or when you talk about a Raketa watch. Obviously not too many people would know about them, mostly watch enthusiasts like myself and other people that are into watches will recognize or would know what the hell Raketa watch is. So since 1961, Raketa started producing watches. This one is very classic. There's nothing special about it, but I have managed to buy this one for a very good price, and it was a new old stock watch. I bought this together with a Vostok, I think. They were both new old stock, so I was very happy with the purchase. I got them quite cheap as well. I think I paid about $50 for both together. So that's a very good price for them. This one is working perfectly. The other one, on the other hand, it's falling a bit behind, so I need to take it to a watchmaker to try and adjust that. I know it's just a simple adjust, but I have tried at some point in the past to adjust one of my watches and I completely ruined it, so I'm not going to try it again with the other watch. But this one, nonetheless, this one is working perfectly. It's not losing a minute over 24 hours, so I'm very happy with it. It's a fairly good looking watch. Obviously the strap is not the original one. I don't really keep watches with the original strap. If you look into presentation for that Seiko that I have on the left hand there, then that's one of the original straps. But most of my watches are on different ones, and because I prefer slightly bigger watches, I'm choosing those type of bracelets, especially for the smaller dial watches. This one is fairly big, but obviously the classic ones, older watches from 70s, 80s, they will mostly come on a 30 millimeters case. So then I'm putting one of those straps on, so they would cover more surface on my wrist. So that being said, because I deviated from the subject, 1961 Raketa in honor of Yuri Gagarin, let's talk about their achievements in the world. Now, at some point, they were producing about 5 million watches a year, which was massive for that time. So very good sales internationally, and also they got a few prizes for and achievements, recognition in the world, international world fairs, for the watches that they made, and those happened all of them in consecutive years, and they were in the 60s. They received the gold medals in 1965 and 1966 in Leipzig, so international gold award, and then another one in Montreal in Canada in 1967. So most of them in the 60s. Now Raketa still producing watches today. They have their own website. I'm gonna put that in the description of the video, so if you guys would like to have a look and get more information or see the new range of Raketa watches, just please do refer to the description of the video, and in there you will find a direct link to the Raketa website. They are ranging now to from I think 700-800 euros to 2,000 or so euros. I'm not sure what you would prefer. It depends. If you want a modern watch, a new watch, then by all means do buy one. But most of us watch enthusiasts would prefer one of those chunky, we like to say proper Russian watch. So and you can get them fairly cheap. There are quite a few on Etsy, the World Timers and some other Raketa watches. They are very good watches, I must say. Very happy with this one. I think my father used to have a Raketa watch. I was even as a child, I was pretty much into watches, and I liked them as jewelry pieces. And my father was wearing this watch, I think, throughout my whole childhood. So it's about 20 years, and God knows from how long before that he had the watch. And I do remember he did took it a few times to watchmaker to adjust a few things on it. Most of the times he was happy with it and wearing it on a daily basis. That watch was battered and it was still ticking, so I was well impressed with it. And then later obviously bought myself a few, and I did ask him a few years ago if he still has Then Raketa watching, he said he's been it a long time ago, so I don't know why, but he probably had enough of fixing it over the years, and he just bought himself a different watch. Yeah, there's just a funny story in there about the ownership of a Raketa watch in the family. But yeah, I can't say the same thing. I didn't have this that long. It's probably about 2 years since I own this one. I do wear it occasionally, so I'm very happy with it. It's a very good watch. It's looking good. It's keeping good time, and obviously it brings that Soviet Union spirit. Somehow it I don't know. It just it's a different thing when you wear a Russian watch. Obviously, it's a numerous other watches that you can Russian watches that you can wear and you can buy, is like the Polyjot, which by the way Yuri Gagarin was wearing in his 1961 flight to space. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think yes, he was wearing a Polyjot, not a Raketa watch. This is just named in honor of that Russian achievement. So once again, bottom line, conclusions, Raketa watches. I hope this video helped you guys if you're undecided, or if you're new to watches, or if you don't know what a Raketa watch is. There are a few information in this video. Is it worth to buy a new one? I don't know. I wouldn't pay personally €1,000 to buy myself a Raketa watch, but nonetheless, if you have that spare and you would like to, by all means buy yourself. Is it worth to buy a Raketa watch for £50 or £20 or whatever you would find it on the internet, on eBay or on Etsy? Hell yes, buy it by all means. It might fall a minute behind or so, just adjust it and you'll be happy with it. They're good looking watches, they carry some tradition, so yeah, do buy one of the old ones, and yeah, I don't know, I would encourage you to buy a new one as well if you have the necessary funds. I don't no, I wouldn't personally buy a brand new Raketa watch, but I would definitely buy another one of those bad boys from the 60s to 90s, let's say Soviet Union Raketa watch. That was it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, reacting, liking, commenting, whatever you've been doing on my channel or whatever, however you would find this video. Please drop me a comment or message or anything if you'd like to get in touch, if you'd like to add information, or if you'd like to simply react to one of my videos. So do not hesitate to do so. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.